I think under the circumstances, hugs all around. Years ago. Okay, I'll take this for Rudy. Are you sure? Will you know it? Well, we'll have to stand on our heads and know who you are. I tell her Rose is going to the same place. Okay, you're welcome. No, yeah.
Who's gonna give me a second?
Now, is this chair clean? Yes. Somebody sit down.
No, go ahead, Jane. Jane, go ahead.
Oh, good, it's clean. That must be mine.
No, I get another one. You gotta give it a
I don't believe you met my husband, Dan.
There you go.
Hi, Dan. Sherry, nice to meet you.
Dorothy.
I knew you were like this big. I cannot believe it. Hi, baby. Rosie. Rosie. I cannot believe this. Hey, get out of there. Oh, I can't believe it's you. That was smart of you. Was your brother here? No?
Wow. Sit down, I'll get another chair. Are you okay there?
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, a little bit. All right. There's one here.
We have more.
Oh, my just dog. I thought you wanted one. Thank you so much, Rosie. You're welcome, sweetie. Anyway, my name is There you go. Oh, okay. Nice to see you again. Do you remember me? How are you? I've known Evelyn for over 50 years, and she was my friend, and she met Nan. And then you and Thomas came over. No, you and Thomas came over to visit them, and we played. Me and Thomas had a food fight. You don't remember that? You were little. You were little. You weren't a baby, but you were little. Yeah. And I always ask about you.
You are. This one, no. But this one, no.
That's the
One, no? So, anyway.
Huh? Are you with David, right? Are you with David? No. I just met him in the parking lot. Okay. She brought the hat. This was my sister's hat. I'm deaf in this ear, so. Oh, okay. If we're talking about that, you gave me a better idea. Yeah, there you go. Oh my. Yes, he is. He's a two-rows back. I'm surprised you didn't say
Yeah, right.
Not bad. I remember when she was That's my group. Because I'm in the campus. Or in my mind. Did I cut them out like big?
And I ended up adopting another dog.
You did? How did it go?
Incredible. My current, or my,
They ran out of money. Yours ran.
they just wrestle.
Yeah.
No, best of friends.
Well, you know, I
Yeah.
was cancer.
And then at a certain point, they're like, oh, hey, we can just fight each other and be cool with it.
I'm
And
the
I
only
was like, yeah, I'll fight you. If we squeal you back off, other than that. Oh, I considerably
Whatever, kind of kept ourselves together. There's a progression. Nobody else could come. So,
yeah, but we had so much work to do in 3 days. That, like, I assume it was a blur of like objects and your back.
So, the good thing is we have this, otherwise, we're time away from. I want to show you this
Did you
picture.
ever get to meet her?
I saw that when you posted that on.
Yeah, this lady here, she sent it to me. They live in Desert. And I'm with the cancer support group that Evelyn and Nan are. And so I also wanted to show you
Support
that.
code.
There's a woman in our group, her name is Chris, and I think that she has her on Evelyn and Nan have like dog days. And she's always trying to get me to find out your contact information in case you want to give it to her, because she really wants to come to you. Bring her cookies with her.
So how was your trip up north? I mean, well, not the whole drive. Okay, you gotta get
Not
out
too
of
many
here.
hours left,
Not
so
crazy. Okay.
we're doing good. Mimi was in my group, yeah, but you're and but she's okay. She's okay.
Still holds up.
It's too much. And so we have a text group that we text. You know, there's some people that have had
That's why people fall.
cancer
Like, they don't tell you.
right
about it.
now. There's a few that are
Oh, I don't.
and, you know,
I couldn't do
that
that.
have passed
I don't know. I'd be like, that looks neat. No, I trust you. I'm sorry, mistakes are in production.
you might be able to consider. That's not me, that Denny
Is your mom ignoring you? I gotta take her brain or leg in Oregon, which is like an hour or two north of California. So it's doable. They go through the drive. It's a state. It looks just like Alaska because it's at elevation. Yeah, like when I would say, like it's now you're thinking about yeah, it's a great, it's still hopefully happy with the other hand, it's a good even when they Yeah. And I mean, Australia, they had no like soup. Like, totally. So it was a good restaurant. You gotta like
Yeah, that's why I have it here.
Yep, you know, right. But that's our, yes. Bus.
You have to tell people in order Yeah, now is that the good, like I know it's easy to travel, like is it easy to go from the East Coast to the West Coast and you can go to the West Coast? Although you're around the world. So I might do that. Or not, but like pretty much.
Used to always
It's gotta be.
very tiny places. I'm the one who has all the papers. Like I have literally dozens of courses.
And then you like that.
I can't really skip it.
It's like a vacation for you. It's like, so you're back home. Like, no, this is
That'll be good. I can like relax.
Oh, you're the one. Yes. I had to go on as a 3:30 and I said, "Do you really like what you do?" I tried so hard to fix it. And I double first cousins. Whatever.
Can you help me start cooking?
So Dorothy, did you meet Vanessa officially? This is Vanessa, this is Dorothy Bailey. I don't think so.
I haven't seen that at all. It's just, there was such a good 1950s style, everything that excites to
Oh, really?
So it's,
Somebody had done the same thing. And I swear, one of my
oh, you did see
I had the records. My mother was the family record. She had all these pictures. Oh, really? So by the photos and
that was fun. I don't think they started that.
Dog.
It's not your business. That's absolutely.
What did they do? Are they still around? And no one knew any of them.
It's good stuff.
And it's possible. Yeah, I was,
Not a guarantee, of course, but it is one of the
Like a border collie. She got a little bit.
so,
But we bond over.
as we say, advertisements, whatever their business was. So, it might be possible to try the beauty is we used to have them in my insurance, Schenectady.
And I dare you to spell it too.
How about skinny animals?
I actually know how to spell skinny animals.
But I, oh, do you? Okay.
Another brother had a
Yes, we used to have them in my place for years, really small, it's like 200 or something people. So,
I brought a towel.
It's called Scott's Fire. It's like, it's your gambit. So, but our reunion of like 50 or 60 people is a big deal. But one of my cousins is ailing, so I need to go. You have enough.
I think they both enjoyed life. You know, they were limited. But they seemed.
It's been a while since we've had one. Well before
That
COVID.
dog.
It's one of those things, what are we waiting for? Are we waiting for it to take place?
British family, in fact, all of the branches of the family, the very first. So, and amazingly enough, this morning California cousin, my name was bridal shower. But her mother and my brother.
No, she flew here.
First of all, meeting a lot of cousins. We had some that they knew from Illinois. My first cousins who I knew very well.
Are you guys? No? Okay. I thought I'd maybe ask. Oh, yes.
Came in as well. This first cousin, my mother, was also there, so we had 4 generations of people. Was one of the grandkids, one just kind of a common.
Like these animals.
Where? Like daycare.
We're gonna uncover the food, so feel free to come up and have snacks or refreshments. There's still some others that are on their way, but please feel free to have some refreshments and snacks. Yes. Hi. Sherry, I'm Chris. Nephew of Nan. Yes, ma'am. How are you? I saw you.
And I'm in my 7th. I got invited to their derby party. But it was like friends of friends, and we were at the same parties, and eventually kind of unfolded into the same sort of circle. Yes, that's what it was. But I enjoyed it. And the guy sitting next to me, they played in a band together. And them I met. Tom and Marie, and through them
It'll be okay when you know, and even though like how it started, it was like, would you like to have some say in what you bring stuff out? And we're like, well, bring stuff out. And
George
he's
has
like,
lost a good bit of weight.
and then we just,
Over the last 10 years, he's lost like
the
100
flight,
pounds.
all that stuff. But the main thing is,
Yeah.
this thing was like, it was like a snake eye for them.
He put in the work when he quit his doctor. So he's not very strict. Plus we got into, again, this kind of fell off during the year. We bought recumbent bicycles. We were doing a lot of that. We actually took one of these adventure travel things in southern Louisiana. Once again, we've been talking about it for a long time. My brother and his wife wanted to do some kind of an outdoor something with us, and we were like, there's never going to be enough money. Let's just do it. Because it's pricey. You have to ship the bikes there. And then a lot of tickets on the tour. The bikes are in shape and even enough for that. So it was a great one. It was like all told about 200 miles, but it's not. It's like we do 40 miles one day and maybe 20 miles the next. And the idea, yes, it's mostly flat. And the idea is that by biking that much, you can eat as much as you want.
All that's doing. I can't make it all. Did you have any? And if they force you to bike over it,
Yeah.
this boat are not moving anywhere.
True. And I have not been an athletic person. This was the thing. My brother was like the athletic overachiever, doing triathlons and everything, and I was, you know, the overweight stoner. Yeah. So for,
did you have to train?
oh yeah, but that's why. Now we have them set up as exercise bikes inside. So when you're like watching a movie or something, it's still hard. I haven't completely gotten away from it, but I'm not in the condition I was in, obviously. That was about 6 years ago. No, it must have been probably about 8 years ago. So where do you live?
Chris, did you throw away any right now?
Okay.
Little pencil or figuring out.
Okay.
We are
Back to Hunter Park. I like that part of town. We're down here.
Okay.
We've had this. Really? We've had a certain amount of that, but it's more, it hasn't been really disruptive. It's more just been the natural turnover of, you know, people retiring or getting transferred or whatever. The house sells for so much more. So, and we're far enough south of the town that a certain kind of person is not going to be there. Right? The whole thing are people part of the neighborhood, or are they scared of people with less money than they do? So we've been lucky in that the people who lived in our block are just neighbors. Yeah, and I recognize that if you're from a different sort of neighborhood, moving into a place where everybody says hello and minds your business and notices that your dog is pregnant and all that, right? Right, that's a big change.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Vanessa, why don't you sit down? That's no, I'm a nice one.
Since the country I moved in, it's pretty crowded.
Yeah. I would love it.
Yeah, the house is
I'm good.
so yeah, we moved our house into her house.
I can be grown.
Yeah, it's just very it's still a home we all hang out. Don't have very much. Stuff I know. She'll be fine. Okay.
Our neighbors moved, and I've really been missing them. I mean, I miss them too.
Yeah, I'm Jane. This is my husband, Dan. David was Rose's daughter. She doesn't seem to remember me. I forgot your water. Stay with us.
No, I have no You don't look nearly hungry enough for that to all, right?
But the eyes are that's what she's saying. She's like,
I realize I'm a little salty, but that's
Fresco. I remember when that came out.
So,
1960s. My grandmother loved it. She had two things in the refrigerator, no matter what. Fresco and Stella D'Oro. Ring-shaped pastries that tasted like cardboard with scallops around the outside.
Yes.
so fast.
Never been
breakfast treat, Stella D'Oro.
No, it hit the ground.
There was nothing breakfast or treat like that. That's what they were doing.
And I was talking with someone the at the YMCA, who was also from New York, and she reminded me of another memory related to footsteps, if you will, and that is here.
My ear is wrinkled.
Try here. For 5 minutes.
It's not bitter, not sweet, it's that extra dry cream.
Dry, And
So yes.
Miss Rheingold contest every year. My dad was a Rheingold breaker, so.
My beer story is I found myself underneath John. That's a good actor. So, the thing about this always of the old school. And I'm going to leave. I can almost see the cleaner. And I started it up with the water. So I remember they call it real big.
Two kinds of thirsty.
Now that is something I would never have had the courage to do. Hitchhiking around the country with females. That would have been really kids like that with them. Even 50 years ago. But my daughter is now doing van life.
Oh, really?
She is traveling all around the country. She bought a base level transit van, and she did everything herself using YouTube videos. So she put in the electrics and the cabinetry and the bed and the solar and all the stuff. So she left the DC area March. And she had organized a conference. And she barely made out that last storm, literally screaming to get to Denver. And now she's in Nashville or around somewhere. I think her next stop is going to be Paris.
That's a 24-hour.
So is she one of the ones that, like, we call it a B class B, that's like a band?
It was band, but tall enough to stand in.
But not like the winter bathing type.
No. It's very compact. It would drive me mad.
But that
But
means
she's winnowed down all her, I mean, she's nearly 40 years old. She's accumulated stuff over her life. And, she spent 7 years in Japan. And I think she's been back for and it's like, I like to travel. Not that much. I'm too old to sleep in a 2-inch thick piece of foam. So it's very cleverly designed. It can be a twin bed, but it's like a triple bed. You pull out the underbed and you lift it up on some kind of heaving hefting device, and then have it be a double bed. But she put in solar power on the ceiling, on the roof, and
Usually you have to have, you have to be one of their people to handle it.
she stayed in the van.
I don't think anyone in my party. Some people have, but I don't know.
so she's basically been saying, I'm trying this for 2 years, and then I'm going to do it. Because she's arranged things financially. So
I mean, we can take, I just don't know, because usually,
that point where she's going to decide. She wants to settle down somewhere, wherever. start paying rent again. Having not had to pay rent.
Right, right.
Accumulated for a while. Or is she going to continue to do that?
All the foreigners, they don't have extras. Yeah, I know they all made fun of us for years.
Depending on what part of the
Because they're like, wait, you can put it on pizza? But pizza sauce is something. Why am I dipping my pizza in something? That's great. It's worth taking a look. After they've spent so many decades lambasting us as having the worst food, and they learn, and having to be like, barbecue's good. Did you know it's good?
Oh, yes. Thank you for
That's a big guy. Is that you, alarming? As long as he doesn't fight. I don't think so. You want it cold or hot?
Nice one. That one looks sick. Which model is that one, or which brand is that one? Oh, it is the Suron? Yeah, I thought it was, but I wasn't sure. That one's cool because it's got both. I like the option.
It's gonna look cool soon.
There you go.
Yeah, bro. Hey, see you. Have a good day.
Not the whole cookie, just the bite.
The pictures that are in the frame from Evelyn's ballot. And I was wondering if you'd like me to give those to you now. I have them right here. And you've met Callista, my daughter, right? Not, yeah. Oh, well, here I am. Sharing your 4 years old.
I don't know.
Yeah. That was right, the hanging right
When I would be in the county board meetings with Evelyn,
Okay. I don't know why I thought that was
I just don't want the machine to like spin around on you or whatever. So now it's rotating again. I was trying to help. From a distance. There you go.
we'll see if I can get more chair. You should?
Closer? Okay. Hi. I didn't say hi.
You're right. The whole time I thought it was in my mind. Anxious.
Well, I've known Felicity, your other bestie. Yeah.
Now.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello. This is for Nan and Evelyn and the wonderful lives that they led. They will be greatly missed. And now we will have a time for anyone who would like to speak. Make a line over here, please, one at a time, in front of the camera when you're ready. And we'll record. And hopefully everyone that is not here will be able to see this at some point in time. We love you so much, and we miss you, but we know you're there. You're always going to be there with us. In our memories, in our hearts, and in our minds. Fly high, ladies. Thank you.
Saying the line started. Just told you can't.
You're hitting the line. Okay. You want to flip for it?
I could try.
And I've got Andy's thing too.
All right then. Yeah, isn't it perfect?
Beautiful.
Yeah. So, I'm Jane Rollins, and my very stylish hat used to belong to my sister Rachel, who gifted it to Aline, who's sitting in the second row, who has now gifted it back to me. Just a wonderful gesture. And Nan was one of my oldest friends. I've known her longer even than I've known my husband. She was friends with Juanita Mitchell, who was a high school buddy of somebody else who's sitting in our, there's Tanya, in the group here. And so I had met her many decades ago, but I didn't really get to know her until we were both living here in La Crescenta. So Nan and I would talk about photography. We'd share the great pictures we took. She was really talented as a photographer. And we critiqued each other for, pictures we thought could be improved. And it seems like whenever I spent time either with Nan one-on-one or with Nan and Evelyn together, the conversation never flagged. We always had something to talk about, something to laugh about, something to cry over. You learn very early on. I hate looking to the camera because I want to interact with you guys. I learned not to call them on the weekend because they were never home. They were out adventuring. They were at some beach south of Santa Monica or north of Santa Monica, up in Ventura or whatever. So if I wanted to spend time with either or both of them on the weekend, I had to plan it months ahead. And so one of the things we used to do was take the beach bus. This is a local program to here. I think other neighborhoods have it as well, where there's 2 or 3 pickup spots in town. The bus would take you to Santa Monica Beach. We'd arrive at 10 o'clock in the morning. Sun, sand, chasing waves. When we got hungry, we'd go into Santa Monica proper and have a meal. Window shop at the boutiques we couldn't afford. And then 3 o'clock, we were back on the sand and getting on the bus to come back. And that ended during COVID, and I kept waiting for it to be reintroduced. And they reintroduced it last year, and they were both too sick to take part, and I really am sad we didn't get to do that one more time. Oh, and I was so glad, Dorothy, where are you? Oh, you came, yes. So Dorothy brought Rose with her. She adopted Rose, who was Nan and Evelyn's dog, when Nan died. And Nan and Evelyn just loved their fur babies. Breezy was before Rose, and Goldie was before Breezy, and I know there was at least Precious before that. And we used to, for those vacations they couldn't take the fur babies with them, I would dog sit. And when Dan and I went on vacations, they would cat sit for us. And now that they're gone, trying to find someone to cat sit, and we went on vacation a couple of weeks ago, was a real, thank goodness for Facebook. And I did finally find somebody through friends of mine who recommended someone on Facebook. It was way easier the other way around. I miss them for that. Nan was very generous with praise. For instance, she was a great storyteller. I'm sure that, I mean, the stories went on for a bit, but she told fantastic stories. But she was the one who praised me for being a storyteller. When I would tell the story of how I used to play hooky from high school. I grew up in New York and went to the Bronx High School of Science, and I hated it. I used to tell stories of my travels in Yugoslavia back when there was a Yugoslavia. And she particularly liked the stories I told about my family. I'm a professional genealogist, and there's a story of a great uncle of mine who killed a bear with his bare hands. And she had me tell that story over and over again. Nan and I, and I'm not including Evelyn in this because I don't think she was hoarder adjacent, but Nan and I definitely are. And they helped me declutter at my house, and then I would come down and I would help them declutter at their house, and then at both houses things would revert to the normal tendency of not being tidy. But we really did try and change. Nan and Evelyn were both at our 4th of July make your own ice cream Sunday parties. I was there, and Dan and I sometimes were there at their derby parties, which they gave for many years. We attended concerts at Memorial Park, which is down the road a piece. I particularly remember a Neil Diamond look-alike, what do they call it, tribute band that we both really enjoyed, and some of you I think are their dog park buddies who were at that concert. We'd go to Santa Anita, UCLA, which is where I went to grad school, would have a group every year, and they bring in someone who would tout the horses, right, and give us tips on how to bet. And we just, you know, Nan, especially coming from bluegrass country, found that particularly enjoyable. But they made it a party just to watch the flowers on their cactus bloom. I get a call at 7 in the morning. They're blooming! Come down. I live half a mile from them. They lived in the moment. And for someone like me who tends to live in my head and think about the past a lot and worry about the future, that was a real gift. And because we were in the moment, I don't have a lot of pictures. The ones I have, I did contribute to the display here. But I have the pictures in my memory. A friend and co-worker of mine from 30 years ago posted something on Facebook that made me think of Nan and Evelyn. And I think it's a heartfelt lesson for all of us. One day, you will be a memory for some people. A story they tell with a soft smile. A moment that flickers in their heart like candlelight in the dark. Life is a collection of these quiet imprints. Laughter that lingers, kindness that ripples, presence that heals. Every encounter, every shared word becomes part of someone's tapestry of remembrance. So, walk gently through their lives. Speak truthfully. Love deeply. Forgive quickly. Leave warmth where you can, and light where there was shadow. When your name is spoken years from now, may it be wrapped in peace and gratitude, a reminder of love's quiet power. Nan and Evelyn will always be the warp and weft of my tapestry of remembrance.
Thank you, Jane.
Come on, nobody wants to go after that?
Yeah, who wants to go after that?
I'm not gonna try to beat it.
No, I
I'll go next.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, is that okay?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I thought this is.
Are you in mine?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, first off, so that I guess I don't exactly have to follow that. Andy and Skip couldn't be here, so Andy sent me what he wanted to say about their friendship. And so, pretend I'm Andy. See? Andy.
Hi, Andy.
So this is Andy's tribute to Nan and Evelyn. When I think of Nan and Evelyn, I smile. They shared a life filled with love, laughter, friendship, and more than a few memorable adventures. I was fortunate to know them both for many years. I'd like to share a few stories that capture what made them so special, both individually and especially together. Nan and I met at Hollywood's Universal Studios tour in 1982. We both worked in the gift shops, Nan as the formidable assistant manager at the ultra-busy Lobby souvenir store, and me as the kid from Philadelphia looking for inner adventure and cash for college. My first impressions of Nan: Nan was direct, Nan was always in charge, Nan was wicked smart. She had that mix of confidence and humor that made me want to be around her even when I wasn't quite sure what adventure might follow. And adventures there were, many, many adventures. And this is peppered with photos. So this is a photo of them. I know it's little, but
So young.
them,
Oh
yeah,
my God, so
them
young.
together. Yes. So, and the mountains are in the background. I thought was cool. When Nan bought a 1965 Chevy Nova from, as she said, a little old lady from Pasadena, it became our magic carpet during my LA summers. That old Chevy shuffled us around Los Angeles to and from all the apartments she and I called home: Beverly Hills, Silver Lake, North Hollywood, Glendale, and Burbank. Nan was my date to see E.T. at the Cinerama Dome. She was my ticket to afternoon swims at her Uncle Ned and Aunt Tinker's pool. She was my dance partner at the Divey Seven Seas nightclub in Hollywood. Our adventures extended to many other memorable meetups in my post-college years in Atlanta, D.C., Santa Barbara, San Francisco, Charlottesville, and a meandering road trip along Virginia's Blue Ridge Parkway. Lots of adventures. Eventually, Nan and I began jokingly referring to those adventures as misadventures, because anyone who knew Nan knew she was remarkable. She had a remarkable knack for finding herself in the middle of life's little logistical crisis. Isn't that? Lost keys, wrong turns, impossible customer service encounters. Nan seemed destined to collect them all. Yet she also had an equally remarkable gift for finding her way through them, usually laughing by the end and always emerging with a story worth telling. That's true. Always a story worth telling. It was years later on staff at copy shop called copy shop called C&M Printing that Nan met Evelyn Harris. And from that point on, the story was theirs. Evelyn was striking, tall, elegant, and always impeccably dressed. She had that kind of style that seemed to stop people in their tracks. The colors, the hats, the confidence. She carried herself like someone who knew exactly who she was. And when she entered a restaurant, people noticed. What Nan noticed was Evelyn's sexy legs. I did too.
And there's a really little tiny picture, but it is in the video of the three of them. And I put this picture in the video. Evelyn and Nan together were a force, opposites in some ways and perfect complements in others. Nan brought the spark and the mischief. Evelyn brought the poise and structure. Together they built a partnership that was joyful, grounded, and true. It was the two of them in action, side by side, against everything life tossed their way. When I met my husband Skip in 1994, he joined the antics. In the 32 years since, Skip and I were lucky to share so many memorable experiences with them. From lunching at Cantor's in LA to helping us celebrate my Big 50 birthday party in San Diego to seeing us off at LAX for our year abroad in Australia. When we moved to Austin, they flew in to help us celebrate. Skip and I cherished the photo of the four of us posing proudly in front of a massive longhorn bull. I don't think that's in the video. One year we cruised around Phoenix in a Lincoln Town car, quite full of ourselves as we searched for the perfect gay bar. I don't believe we ever found it. And so here is a picture of the four of them in cowboy hats and, I don't know, the Lone Star or something, big star. So, and oh, this is the big horn. This is the picture of the big horn. Yeah, and I think Evelyn's riding it. Skip and I have moved around a lot, and our assimilation strategy has always been to join a local gay men's chorus. We were thankful to have our own cheering section, as Nan and Evelyn were always game for a road trip to see us perform in San Diego, Silicon Valley, and Palm Springs. I'll never forget one night at Palm Springs' Purple Room, a local supper club once a favorite of Sinatra and his Rat Pack. Soon after gay marriage became legal, a convincing drag, Judy Garland, pulled me on stage so that I could propose to Skip in front of a packed showroom. Nan and Evelyn were at our table, and they were in on my surprise, clapping, laughing, and crying all at once as Skip said yes. Oh, and I already had that picture in the video, the one that they posted in the invitation with the Judy Garland impersonator. Nan and Evelyn faced life with humor, loyalty, and grit, including multiple cancer battles that they met with bravery and grace. It feels almost poetic that they left this world within months of each other. They had walked side by side for so long. My turn. They simply couldn't stay apart for long. Nan with her southern charm and long wandering stories, Evelyn with her elegance and quiet wit. Although I don't think always Evelyn had quiet wit. She could be pretty boisterous too. Together they were love, imperfect, hilarious, fierce, enduring love. And also you probably saw the picture of Evelyn's party with the weird balloon hats.
Yeah.
I know you were at that party. I miss them both deeply. I miss Nan's boldness, her laughter, the way she'd jump in to defend you or tell you a story that somehow never quite had an ending. I miss Evelyn's. It's true. I miss Evelyn's calm presence, her style, her curiosity, her affirming Facebook posts, and her knowing smile that said, "We've got this." And now their stories, like their lives, have wound their way home. We are so thankful to have the opportunity to say goodbye to them. In our last phone call, Evelyn said she was ready to take flight and soar with wings. And Nan was able to channel my late parents and say, "Andy, I am proud of you and I love you." It doesn't get much better than that. Fly, ladies, fly.
Thank you.
Hold it. I'm going to do a technical change.
Already? Reminding,
Well, even though I had lots and lots of time to create the video, there always seemed to be something else that needed doing first. And so, of course, the last 3 weeks I have been, nose to the grindstone getting the video together. But I didn't really have time to actually prepare something as I would have probably liked to, but at the time I did write up my tribute, so I was primarily going to just go with that for myself for today. And yes, I just, I don't know, it's so hard without them. I don't know, it's changed my life a lot. So this was what I wrote, and I may add some little notes as I just reading it. My heart is breaking once again. We have lost two of our dearest friends at the same time. We met Nan and Evelyn 30 years ago, thanks to our friend Juanita Rose, who also left us earlier this year. That was last year in February. And I wrote this right after Nan died. Yeah, what a sad year all around. Nan's roots being in Kentucky, their claim to fame was their annual derby party. That was always a fun time. We started inviting each other to parties and met at other people's parties, and after a while we became really good friends. Such good friends that when I had my heart attack, that's who Tom called. Tom called Nan and Evelyn, and they were there, just like that. It was like, and when I woke up and found that they were there, I was like really shocked, but appreciative of my sister, and that was about it. So that's how good of friends they were. Just they were our go-to. I don't know. You wonder after all these years, like, I wonder when that actually happened. Things just sort of morph and flow, but he really got very close. And when my mom died and then Juanita Rose died, those are kind of my go-to. But even with Rose living so far away, we weren't in touch that much either. And I don't know. I mean, you can always do stuff by phone, but distance seems to make a difference. I don't really know why, but since we saw Nan and Evelyn all the time, it was easy, I guess, to go to her. So she became my kind of go-to friend when I called in place of my mom, who I always called when I needed something or wanted something or needed support or friendship or whatever. And that was Nan. She just, I don't know, even I think when I called to complain about something that I was unhappy about, she would put a positive spin on it, just try to cheer me up and make me feel better about things. And so that was really a wonderful aspect of her that is, I think, why I miss you so much. And then I just said, Nan and Evelyn were a lovely couple, kind to a fault, funny as all get out, compassionate, adventurous, and they loved Yosemite. And my life just it already isn't the same without these guys. They were more like family than friends. We have so many happy memories with them. The many Mardi Gras parties, derby parties, election night parties, holiday parties. Good friends, good times. And today I brought little pots of stuff, and Trader Joe's didn't have a whole lot of the little roses, sadly, but she would always bring stuff to, things I invited her to, not being asked or anything, but you know, like when my mom died and we were supposed to be having like this dinner thing after the funeral, she brought all these same thing, little pots of roses, just little bit, you know, the little pots of roses to put on the table, you know, as we were, you know, eating dinner. And then only like 8 people showed up, so it was like really. And then I went home with like a box of the little potted, you know, oh Marie, you have to take these. And it was like, oh, you're so sweet, but she's so sweet. Always thinking of things like that. And there were other times too that she did the same thing, brought those little potted plants and flowers and stuff to decorate tables and things. And I don't know, just, and then all the parties that she brought cornbread to. She was the queen of cornbread. And she loved to make her little apple cornbread. That was, you know, I like to put apples in it. People were like, apples in cornbread? Yeah. So she usually would make one of each, one plain and one with apples. So you may also notice in the video that at times I put in the pictures of the food and I actually put Nan's cornbread on the picture. So, but yeah, they were just the life of the party, always. Nan was hilarious and always kept us laughing. She did not stand for eating any food she wasn't happy with. And when we went out together, and more than once she stepped in for me when I wasn't happy with the food I had gotten. In fact, the last time really just sticks in my mind. It's like I ordered fish and chips like an idiot. Like, unfortunately, I guess I'm just not ever going to get good fish and chips out because so far. But anyway, so I tried it. I don't know, it sounded good. I think someone else had it and it looked good. And then it came and it was awful. And, you know, bitch. All I did was complain about the... So Nan disappeared. Or maybe she even, I don't know, I can't remember if she said she was going to go do something, but off she went and talked to probably the manager. My friend isn't enjoying her food. So instead of fish and chips, I had chicken piccata, and it was wonderful. Thank you, Nan. I love you. I hugged her. I said, oh, you're so wonderful. I love you. So that was the kind of thing that, but yeah, she was like trouble in restaurants. It's like, don't give her food she doesn't like or you're going to hear about it. And also, she really doesn't like mayonnaise. No mayo. You know, she wanted us to bring her In-N-Out burgers. No mayo. Make sure they don't put any mayo on it. But I thought that was a funny thing about her. She had a knack of wandering into places she wasn't supposed to be, sometimes setting off alarms. I think there was some museum place she went off the main track. It's like, I was always, that sounds like her. And then just the photos, photography and all of that. She was just so into all of that. And there were tons of photos. So as I told a couple people here, just boxes and boxes and boxes of photos. So sadly, you know, tons of photos, but no real way to enjoy them, you know. And I even thought, why didn't they put them in albums? Then I thought, that's crazy. Now it's going to take all the time to put them in albums and it'd be the same thing, you know. I don't know, probably fill up a whole room or something. There's like probably at least a box per year since, I don't know, at least 1992, maybe older. So, I don't know, just a nightmare of boxes, and it's just, what's going to happen to them? I don't know, I guess all these things have crossed my mind since then. It's like, no one's going to want all those boxes of pictures. No one's probably going to want to look through them to find their pictures in it. So, I don't know. It just looked like a treasure trove that, you know, can't be enjoyed. And everything I looked in, I loved all the photos. You know, it was like, it was hardly like, no. It was like, yes, stop that. You can't put all those in. But yeah, it gave me such a view into their life. You know, like a lot of parts of it that I wasn't aware of, a lot of parts of it from when they were young. So it was real interesting to see all of that stuff. And she, I don't know, I would say that in the early days, it was starting to look like she and Andy were either they were just real friendly, but again, I really hope you guys will watch the video, because there's a lot of stuff and you might see yourself in it if you watch, but you have to watch all of it or you won't see yourself. So I know that was leading somewhere, but I forget where. And then Evelyn was such a caring and generous soul, always ready to provide whatever you needed. She had an incredible zest for life. She also had a great sense of humor. And I really think that, they were very adventurous. When I look through the pictures and whatnot, I just, so many places they went. And every year, some places they went, like Sawdust Festival, almost every year. They went to Arlington Gardens all the time. They just really... And we are like, I don't know, Jane said she lives in her head, but, we don't do that. And I don't know, I found myself envying that, that they were so spontaneous and were always going to places and having a good time, and, we just sit at home. It's like, but Evelyn was in amazing spirits to the end, cracking jokes even as she was fading, ending her life with grace and humor. And Nan, I don't want to get into it, but it's just, I don't know. It's so sad what some of the angels here on earth go through. So Nan really, really went through it. And I feel so bad for someone so sweet to have, had all this happen to her. But I agree with Andy that, I thought it's a good, the way I said it was, if there is a bright side, it's that they don't have to live without each other. And I know that would have been really hard for either of them. And I know it was already being hard for Nan, and it wasn't even that much time. So they requested, to have their ashes scattered at Yosemite. And so I will remember them happy together there, in the sunrises and the sunsets, in the towering and majestic mountains, and the hush of tranquil forests, in the spring flowers and the fall leaves, in the singing birds and the blustery wind, in the crashing waterfalls and roaring rivers, reflected in the still waters of the lake. Such a beautiful resting place. And now they're both at peace. And they're both my loves.
Just a couple little bitty stories real quick. I think I met Evelyn in how old was I? I think I was 18. I'm 71 now, so a long time ago. And she was so much fun. Oh my God. We used to go fishing. She had a white Chevy pickup truck, and a bunch of us would jump in the back of it, and we'd drive through the desert, raising hell, singing and laughing and having fun. We rescued a couple of little dogs we found that people would throw out in the desert. And she was just so much fun. Anyway, we got way out in the middle of nowhere, and because my friend Maureen's big brother told us there was great fishing in this little creek. So we're like going, where's the creek? And we're out in the middle of the desert. It's so hot. We're all like taking our shirts off, and, So Evelyn's truck broke down. So good for me. I was gifted, so I had a wire bra on. So we decided that we were going to fix that damn truck. And I cut my little wire out, and we got it out, and we fiddled around with it, and I don't know what we did, but I said, here, try this, and we put it through some hoop and twisted it, and the thing started. That's our famous, thing. Let's see. And then on my 50th birthday party, a bunch of us rented a houseboat, and we went to Lake Oroville. And it was a big, giant boat, and it had a penthouse, and we were so happy. We were having so much fun, but then we couldn't get it away from the shore. So, guess who got out in the water and took a rope and started pulling it out? It was Evelyn, my hero. She was something else. And one thing I have to say about Evelyn is she introduced me to another good friend, which is Joanne, her sister. Evelyn got me hired at Capitol Records along with Maureen. And yeah, but you weren't there yet. And she said, Sherry, can you hang out with my sister? She doesn't know anybody. And I'm like, sure. Yeah, I'll teach her the ropes. Anyway, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Evelyn was always somebody I could call and talk to. She rescued me many, many, many times. My car caught on fire on the way home from a swing shift out in Torrance or somewhere. I don't know. It was far away. Who picked me up? Evelyn. Yeah. She was fun. She was a lot of fun. Let's see, what else? Well, on the serious side, okay, one time I was taking the train. I live in the Bay Area up north. I was taking the train down to my sister's house, and she was taking the train up to her sister's house, but we didn't know it. So in Bakersfield, you have to transfer from the bus to the train, or the train to the bus. So I'm sitting there, I get off the train, I'm just kind of looking around. Who do I see? Hi, Sherry! She was so much fun. She was a crack up. And my sister and her family, they saw him everywhere they ever went. They'd see him in Ventura and, all over the place. Anyway, one thing Evelyn told me was that, because I was so upset when she told me that she had cancer. And it really kind of broke my heart. Well, it did. But, before that, Evelyn saved my life. Evelyn and my sister, my big sister. They came and rescued me from a life of, well, I wouldn't have been alive too much longer. But they saved me from that. They took me to a hospital where I can say I have 42 years of sobriety now. Thank you. And Evelyn and my sister took me there, and we've always been good friends. She calls me every weekend. I was just telling my sister, man, I miss it. Evelyn doesn't call me. She always wakes me up. First thing in the morning, hello! Oh, were you asleep? Okay, I'll just keep you a moment. She did that. I said, Evelyn, I work graveyard, her swing shift. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, okay. And then next week, good morning. She was really funny. But anyway, so one more story. Evelyn told me, so when she got sick, not only did it break my heart, she, when she had cancer, and by now I'm like 71 and she's like older, and we're like reminiscing. We have a lot of friends that have passed away. So it kind of gets you used to it. Not that I'm going to get used to it, but you kind of just say, well, that's part of life, right? Which I know it's hard to say, but it's true. And there's nothing you can do about it. So you have to accept it and get on with your life. Because if you don't, you're just going to be sad, and you're not going to get anything done, and you're going to dwell on it. My mother's 93, and right now she's in her dying days. She keeps having heart attacks. She had one this morning. And so, yeah, it's like, and it's time, I mean, we get this time. Anyway, so Evelyn tells me, Sherry, because I was like, Evelyn, I can't believe it. I hate it. You know, don't die. You know. she goes, Sherry, living is like riding the train. And I think she said this because we were both on the train. And she goes, we're all riding on the train together. And her friend Joan recently passed too. You know, Nan and Evelyn's friend Joan. She passed. She was in Portugal, yeah. And she goes, you know, we're all on the train together. And she goes, but when it stops and one of us gets off, that's where you get off. And that's it, you know. She goes, so Sherry, we're riding the train, and wherever I get off, that's where I'm getting off. And you'll continue to go on your ride, and, you know. So, anyway, that's my little stories about... And Nan was a big part, too. I got to say something about Nan. She was funnier than hell. We used to crack up. She called me her Virgo sister, because we're both Virgos. And I can totally... Yay! And I can totally relate to a lot of things about her. She's very meticulous and very set in her ways, which I have to say I'm kind of guilty of that. I collect junk. Hello? No. Oh, I mean, I'm trying to get better. Because I feel like, you know, someday I'm going to die, and then somebody's going to have to take care of that. And I don't really want anybody to take care of it. But Nan was a good friend. She was funny. She, you know, kept us all amused. Sometimes we'd have to say, I have one. You know, she could go on all night. Anyway, thank you.
When I first moved out to California, Nan and Evelyn called me up and said, John, we're going to take care of you the way, you know, others took care of us when we first moved out here. And they did. They, you know, made sure they would treat me to a home-cooked meal that had actual vegetables in it. They would offer to let me crash on their couch if I was going to be between places for a day or two. And mostly they just were familiar faces and people that I could talk to in the very early days of, you know, trying to build a new life. And, you know, of course I have my share of, you know, Evelyn, you know, offering a kind word or just an ear to listen to what's going on with you. And, you know, or Nan and I making an impromptu detour to the Grand Canyon after going to a different memorial service. But yeah, they were such a big part of my life in such big ways and small, and I can never really sort out the shape of what those relationships are like, and you can never ever replace them. And I just wanted to just say how much I love them and how much they will be missed.
Well, I didn't have anything prepared, but just wanted to say, to tack on to Sherry's stories, you know, I got like 5 or 6 friends that are like those lifelong friends, and Evelyn and Nan were one of them. And I used to live in Tujunga, and they lived in La Crescenta, so we were really close. But I met Evelyn right out of high school. I just started college in 1971. And you know, the hello, you know, that was always her favorite thing. And so, I mean, we had a lot of adventures. Some of them probably wouldn't be appropriate to talk about in this. But our trip to the Kern River, that was in the bicentennial era, because Evelyn never drank. She was like our designated driver all the time. But she was like, oh, you guys can do what you want. And we bought a case of bicentennial beer. And we had it in the back of that truck. And it got hot. because we had to stop and, like she said, rescue dogs, rescue people, and by the time we got there, with the tailpipe falling off and all that stuff, you know, it was just crazy. And then, so we turned around and went to the Kern River, and I had a tent, and it was really windy, and so we were trying to figure out how to keep this tent up, and I had fishing line. So we had boulders, and we're doing this, and I built a fire, and we almost put the whole forest on fire with it. I could build a really good fire. And you know, Evelyn was over there cooking, and you know, it was a crazy time. And then coming back through Bakersfield, none of us had any money to buy food, and I remember we jumped out of the truck and we were picking onions out of the fields, onions, you know, because that's all we had. And Sherry was in the back of the truck. I don't know if she knew about this, but we were in the front. I was in the front of the truck with Evelyn, and I think it was like 1958 truck. It was really old, and you know, tree on the tree and all that. And the smoke started coming out of the thing. And I'm like, I think we're on fire. And she reaches down and hands me this bag, and it was a Boda bag of wine. And she's going, just squeeze it on there. I'm squeezing this wine on, and it just stopped smoking. I go, okay, let's just keep going. You know? But no, she was a force to be reckoned with, and she got me my first job at Capitol Records. And what I didn't realize was they had gone on strike. They were union. And she goes, oh, we need people here. You want to come and work? I said, okay. So I went in there, and I'm working, and I'm having a great time. And then they got off strike, and they came back in, and well, everybody hated my guts because I was a scab. And I didn't understand unions. I didn't understand any of that stuff. And so, but I really liked the job and stuff. So anyway, I stayed on. But it took a little getting used to. She worked in the computer room, and I was down in the warehouse. And so it was kind of an interesting thing. But, you know, the thing about Evelyn, what I remember is if she wanted something, she would go for it. She wanted a damn sailboat one time. And I go, what are you going to do sailing? And she goes, well, she couldn't afford it, so she went and got a second job. So she's working at night, working at day, sleeping like 3 hours to get this money. And she got this boat, and I don't know how long she kept it. But she wanted to learn how to sail. So she was just very determined woman, you know. And it was really kind of funny like that. But then when, you know, after her and Nan got together, I was like, oh, this is kind of an odd couple, you know, a yin and a yang, right? Yeah. And the last time I saw them, they were sick, and this was about 4 years ago. And we were having breakfast, and Evelyn starts telling me this story, and she goes, well, wait, let me let Nan tell you. And I'm like, oh, God. We're going to be here for hours, you know, because she's got to go around and around and around. But it was great. She didn't leave any detail out of it, right? And explained everything along, and then all of a sudden you get to the finish line, you know. So it was kind of funny. But we enjoyed going to their derby parties, and she called me and my partner one time. She goes, we're having this derby party, but you have to wear a bonnet like that. I go, a bonnet? She goes, yeah, dude, you know, the Kentucky Derby, they wear these hats and stuff. So I told my partner, okay, we got to make bonnets, okay? So I went and I got these hats, and I went to the dollar store, and I made all this stuff. And we walk into this party, and nobody had a bonnet on. So we look like idiots, you know. But I wanted to win the prize, you know.
Evelyn must have been wearing one.
Yeah. Nobody did. Nobody else did. But we always had fun at their parties and stuff, and they would always come to whatever we had going on, you know. But she, you know, the thing I remember about Evelyn, she would just help everybody in anything. It didn't matter what it was. If it was money or anything. Uh-oh. No, can't do that. So, anyway, you know, I'm glad there's a memorial for them because they really deserve being remembered, you know. It is heartbreaking, though. It really is, you know. So, anyway, I still have a few good friends left. And hopefully we won't be gathering soon for anybody else. But, you know, it's just so hard to move on. I moved to New Mexico 20 years ago, and we've always just kept in touch, though. You know, always on the phone, Christmas cards, all that stuff. And I would send them I would see their Facebook posts, and Evelyn and Nan are in Yosemite doing something with one of their dogs and stuff. So I made little pictures, and I would send them in the Christmas ornaments and send them to her, and they were like really happy about getting that because they did love pictures, I'll tell you that. And I'm one of them people that have all the pictures in the garage too, so one of these days somebody's going to have to go through all my stuff, you know, but anyway. So I'm glad that everybody's here and celebrating the wonderful life that they had, you know, a lot of fun. So take care.
To make a long story short, that was her favorite line. Make a long story. Never did make it any shorter.
Okay, so I come from someplace else, and I'm not in your group of friends. Evelyn was in my cancer support group, and I only had known her for the last couple of years, and she was really the person who kept our group together so much. I'm the only one here from this cancer support group that's able to come. Everybody else is ill. Lucky me. Aww. And but I wanted you to know that it's been so nice hearing about Evelyn before she had cancer, because that's the time that I've known her, since she has had cancer. But she always was the person that was cheering us on, helping us through times, giving us hints on where to go, who to see, what lotion to use, or whatever. And I had given Dorothy a video that was taken of Nan, and one of our ladies in our group, Deborah, she was a poet, and she did the haiku poems, which are just little short poems, maybe 2 or 3 lines, just really short little things. And she published this book, and she actually dedicated the book to our group. And the poems are all about having cancer. Unfortunately, Deborah did pass on, but right when she had the book come out, we all got together at Descanso Gardens, and she taught us all how to do haiku. And we all got up and we talked about our haiku, and I gave Dorothy the video I had of Nan doing her haiku, which was really fun. And that's when I really got to know Nan. And she did tell me a lot of stories, but I'll have to tell you that I'm a storyteller also, so it was quite the competition. But I did want to just read you something that was out of this book, but I also want to just say so much about Evelyn. Nan became part of our group also, and Evelyn was always so welcoming to all of us, and it just broke our hearts when we found out that she was back in the hospital and wasn't going to make it, because we were always thinking that Evelyn was going to be one of us that was going to make it. Anyway, this woman kind of put it all together for me when I've read her book several times, this little tiny book that she has. But what she said was, being a cancer patient is like walking a tightrope. It's a journey. The journey is precarious, and the slightest misstep, complication, side effect, or cancer mutation can cause you to lose your balance. Fortunately, I have had a safety net on my journey, who have been family for me, and friends who have been there, cooking dinners, taking me to appointments, and are generously being there. I am also thankful for the women of the Cancer Support Group who understand my journey, because they're living similar journeys. We listen, offer suggestions, and have helped each other with a positive outlook. She put a condor on front of her book. And she said that the reason why she did was because condors were on their way out. And they found a way back. Now they're flying, soaring through the sky. And it really made me think of Evelyn and Nan, because they were at my house a couple of times, and they just love my backyard. I have lots of birds and butterflies, and boy, that was a big part of the conversation. And the last poem that this woman wrote, and they're just real short things. It says, "Forest stillness, condors return to the redwoods."
And that reminded me so much of it.
Oh, shit.
My name is Marilyn. I met Evelyn and Nan. I was part of the dog park people. I didn't have a dog, and they were like, "Where's your dog?" Like, I don't have one, but my friend Rosie took me, and that's how I met Evelyn, like almost 10 years now. I was going to her house, and I was helping her clean up, going through her house, and Evelyn goes, and Nan goes, "Whatever's there, be forward and say, you don't need this." So I go, "Do you need this mug? Really? It's cracked. It's way in the back, has dust on it." And Nan's like, "No, I'm keeping that mug." "How long have you had the mug?" She's like, "Well, about 20 years. Do you think that child knows that you gave it the mug?" That child, like, I remember they gave you a mug. But they wouldn't get rid of everything. And I just started throwing things away when they were looking. Broken mugs and maybe torn shoes. And, you know, so they were so sweet and kind. And last year I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And I was talking to Evelyn and Nan. And they just kind of like, talked me through it. It was like, "You're going to be okay." You know, and gave me a little positive about what I was going to go through. And they kind of told me what I was going to go through. And they were right. I went through that. And I didn't talk on the phone or anything for 2 months after I had my double mastectomy. But they were calling me just to see if I was okay, texting me, because my daughter had my phone because I didn't want my phone because I just wasn't in the mood to talk to anyone. So they would text me, call me saying, "Are you okay? We're thinking about you." And I was like, "Thank you." And they really gave me some words of encouragement that I was going to be okay. And now a year later, I'm okay. And I miss them. Thank you. I miss them both. I used to go over there and just hang out with them. And Nan said, "I want to take you to lunch when you can feel better." So after 5 months, I was calling her. She didn't answer. Then I find out, about 2 weeks later, that she passed away. And I was really sad I didn't get to go to lunch with her. But, you know, they gave me a lot of good words after I got out of the hospital. So I just want to tell you how they met me too. I don't have stories like you do, but the story about the truck. And Nan just wouldn't stop talking about it. I'm like, "Man, I gotta go. My daughter got back down. She kept talking and talking." She goes, No, wait. Evelyn's gonna go to In-N-Out. No, it's okay. I don't need an In-N-Out. And they're like, No. She goes, "No, you need to stay." I'm like, "Okay." So I call my daughter and I says, "Okay, you have to wait. You know, Nan won't let me leave." And she's told me that story about the truck. And I just thought it was funny. She just wouldn't stop talking. That's all she did. Was like, "Oh, you and I get along really good because I'm a talker too." And when I would talk, and then she would interrupt me and she'd say, I'm like, "Excuse me, lips moving, sound coming out." You know, and she would just start laughing and thought it was funny. And I was like, "Okay, when these lips are moving, you're now allowed to talk." It's my turn. Because she just kept talking. But I'm glad to meet you all. And she will be missed.
I have a little short one. My wife Jane, she was up here earlier, but we went to the racetrack over here at Santa Anita for some kind of college deal. And Nan and Evelyn and Jane and I were sitting over in the corner in this group of UCLA students, I think it was. And I noticed the set, what kind of chauvinist pig that I am. I noticed these 4 young ladies came into the booth, short skirts, and halter tops. So lovely sunny day. They're in their summer dresses. So I, of course, turned around the bench and went off to the side a little bit, and so I could get a good view. You want to look at the legs. And then I looked over at Nan, and she had scooted around to get an even better view. And that's when it hit me. We have so much in common. Evelyn and Nan, I don't know whose idea it was. They decided they could do a kayak thing on the LA River, right? Where over by Dodger Stadium, right where the 5 and the 2 meets. There's a place you can get a kayak and go down the river. It's only about 3 feet deep at any given point, but they say it's clean, even though it came out of people's toilets. It's really clean. So
It looks clean.
and I told the guy I thought it flowed the other direction. I saw Terminator 3 here. So anyway, the only reason that it's a little bit funny is that Nan decided she couldn't go or wouldn't, and it was for 2 tickets, and so Evelyn said, "Well, I know one guy that'll do almost anything. He's up for an adventure." They called up, and I went down there, and it was quite a bit of fun. You take the bicycle up. These are things you don't even think about that you can do in an urban place like this that are just unknown. But you take a bike up, and then you take the kayak down. And anyway, that was a lot of fun. So the other thing on Nan was, she was at one of Bobby's at the election party, and she had I don't know why, because it's not a Halloween, although it is almost November, so I don't know, maybe it was. Anyway, she had a tiara on and a magic wand, and she was going around throwing glitter on people. I said, why? She said, because I can.
No. It hasn't yet. Make sure this is okay on me. I'm
Good?
Maria and I met Nan and Evelyn through mutual friends a couple decades ago. It was a time common with parties. Their place, our place, friends' places. The talk and laughter and hugs took place at a time when we could ignore the passage of time. But when they got their diagnoses, things began to change. Suddenly the ticking of the clock became louder. Each time together, although more rare, was more precious. Even so. A couple of years ago, we spent a lovely evening in the backyard watching a movie on a laptop, eating pizza from the place that closed due to fire, and enjoying each other's company while the sun set. When the evening was over, we promised we'd do it again. Several times we got close to doing it, but something always came up. Another time we met them after morning appointments at City of Hope and had lunch at a small diner in Duarte. We sat outside at a table that must have been set up during COVID, basically out in the uneven parking lot with an umbrella that leaned the wrong way. I don't remember what we talked about, but that didn't matter. We were together, talking, and occasionally laughing. When the meal was over, we promised we'd do it again. Several times we got close to doing it, but something always came up. A couple years ago, when they canceled their derby party last minute due to Nan being in the hospital, Marie had already made berry cobbler to bring. When she told Nan about it, her eyes got really big, And with a smile even bigger, she said, "You have cobbler?" So we brought it, with vanilla ice cream, of course, and all four of us ate it, sitting in the City of Hope Starbucks, with Nan's IV pole patiently waiting next to her. When the last crumb had been devoured, we didn't promise each other that we'd do this again. The clock was ticking even louder, and we knew there would be no more agains. I think sometimes about the agains that never happened, and I get sad. But then I also think about how they happened once, and that makes me happy.
G, can you join me up here? I'm Kim Gwinner, and I think I can safely say I knew Nan for the longest.
Yeah. I think so.
She was only 14 months younger than me. I asked my wife to come up because this Gwinner story thing is a thing.
Oh my God.
She can help stop me if I go too far. So, we'll see.
I do the New York 2-minute version. So.
That's right. I only have a couple quick stories. First of all, the origin story is kind of important. Why Nan ended up in California. We were a military family. I was born in Germany. My brother was born in Germany. And she happened to be born in California for a brief stint we had in Stockton. And I think that just stuck with her through her early life, that she was a California girl and she had to get back to California. And she did that pretty quickly after high school. She worked for a couple of years, and I'm going to tie this to another story we heard tonight about being in the restaurants and how she would handle bad food issues. But before that, in high school, she was really a wallflower, among her friends and just the social life. And so I went off to college in Atlanta, and I came back for an event, and I took some of my buddies with me. Came back to Savannah, and Nan said, "Oh, what are you guys going to do?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. We'll go to River Street, which is a big entertainment district." She goes, "Oh, well, you got to come to this particular club, and just give them my name when you get there." Okay. And so it was a cover charge, but we just used her name, and like 4 or 5 of us got in with no cover, because Nan and her boyfriend were like the show. They were the dancing couple that they were being paid to be there. This is swing dancing kind of stuff, and really early disco, and they were fantastic. And so we got in for free. So she got over the wallflower thing pretty early. But then as soon as she could organize herself to come to California, she came. And I don't know exactly, does anybody know what year it was? Because I don't, can't remember. But it was early, like in the early 80s. And she had a couple of jobs in Savannah before she left, and one of them was at a fine dining restaurant. And so this story we heard earlier about getting the fish sticks or fish and chips corrected. So in my career, I ended up having opportunities to come to LA for work. Always been on an expense account, and I'd call it Nan. We'd go to, I'd say, pick a nice place because I don't know where to go, and we'd go to a nice place. And inevitably, it wasn't always the food, it was sometimes the service that was not up to her standards. And there was a manager involved, and there was free food, and it was total embarrassment on my part. And it did happen every time. And I finally would say, "Nan, that's it. I'm not taking you out anywhere if that continues to happen." Because it was always something she could pick on. She could find some little error that was made with the service of the food or whatever. And she did stop doing it, but I think it also had to do with Evelyn. Because I'm sure Evelyn couldn't handle that as often as it happened. I don't know if that's a fact, but it sort of shifted when Evelyn came into the picture, at least from my perspective. But so those are the only 2 stories I'm going to tell. But I will tell you that.
Okay, well, I think for me, I was telling somebody that there's so many bad things about COVID, but there were also some good things about COVID. I lost my mom a couple months ago at 101, almost 101, but she got to speak to Nan and Evelyn, but I think mainly Nan, through Zoom. And so there's no way that that ever could have happened, that my mother in New Jersey could become friendly with Nan in California had it not been for that. To the point that when I think the last movie I took my mom to see, we went to see Barbie. And so, I mean, they talked about Barbie, and Nan and Evelyn had seen Barbie, and all of a sudden here comes a T-shirt in the mail, like with Barbie.
That's enough.
Just wanted to say, this is like so Nan. It comes up in my mind periodically, but Jane and Dan always have this ice cream party, and so the one year, I think it must have been at the ice cream party, and for some reason there were a few of us left over at the end of the party, and instead of like just ending it, Jane, I think, says, or Dan, one of them, says, hey, what about, we have some steaks. I remember when you guys made the steaks. And, but what are we going to have with the steaks? And so Nan and I went to the store to get some stuff to make salad, because there was nothing to, make salad or have with it.
Vegetables.
And maybe some corn, even though Jane couldn't eat the corn on the cob, but you might have bought some of that too. But the thing was, here we are, I think they were already maybe starting to grill the steaks or something. Anyway, the idea was go out real quick, grab salad stuff, come back and make salad. Well, in my mind, it's like, well, let's get simple stuff to put in the salad. Yeah, we can chop up cucumber, but I'm thinking we'll get cherry tomatoes and we'll just throw the tomatoes in the salad, real simple. Well, after we get back and I'm doing my part of the salad, I turn around, she has chopped up all the cherry tomatoes into little tiny pieces. This is the thing she liked to do. She would cut stuff up into little, I do not have the patience to cut things up into little itty bitty pieces. Her apples, whatever she chopped up, was like itty bitty pieces. And so I said, Nan, the idea was to just throw the tomatoes in. Well, that's okay. They're fine this way. It's like, okay, if you want, you chopped them, so I don't really care. But that was, to me, was so funny, because I was thinking simple, and, she's in there chopping them up. And we also, one of my other stories is when we went to see, I don't know, one of the non-Kentucky Derby races, probably the Preakness.
It was the trio.
Well, I know, but we went to Santa Anita Park to watch the race. Not the Kentucky Derby, but, and it wasn't even, because, of course, we had a Derby party. But then, hey, we've done this before, let's go watch it on the Jumbotron. So you get to see the race. You're there. It's just such a crack up to me. The whole thing about the Derby and the race is like you have this whole party and a build up, and then the race is over in 2 minutes. It's like my first party. It was like, oh my God, this is it. It was kind of my feeling. It was like, oh, this whole build up, for this 1.5 minute race or something. It was like over in a minute. We're done. But I loved it. It was so much fun. But anyway, we went there to the Santa Anita Park. We were in the restaurant eating, and they said, hey, another time when we were here, we had these really great crab cakes. And so we're like, oh, man, that sounds good. So the waiter comes over, and so we ask, hey, we had, crab cakes here before. Is there some way we could have them now? And they're like, oh, yeah, sure, no problem. We can make you up some crab cakes. And we're like, wow, that's so cool. Then the bill came. Let me tell you, these were the biggest crab balls I've ever seen. But still, I think they were like $30 each. So, yeah, we picked up the tab. But anyway, that was a hilarious thing. It's like, well, when you order off the menu, be prepared to pay for it.
to say thank you to everyone who's here and to those that are watching on the live stream. For those that are local and here today, please take some food home with you or send it home with someone else you know who is hungry and needs it. I obviously ordered too much. I had no idea. One thing. I don't know if everyone got to see this, but I painted this in Texas. It may not be the best piece of art ever. It may not be in a museum ever. It may be worthless to most, but it's priceless to me. And they are priceless. And they mean they mean more to me than you'll ever know. And I'm sure to most of you as well. I've been a preschool teacher. I've been a babysitter since I was 13. I'll be 50 in September, believe it or not. And I'm a Virgo too. Yay! I thought about them a lot. This took days, by the way. I would work on it a little, put it down, work on it some more. And it traveled all the way here with me from Texas and the cross that I brought. Because often we would pray over our meals before we would eat. And sometimes we'd eat a bite and then go, oh, gotta pray. Forgot to bless the meal. So I know that they're up there, heaven. And I know I'll see them again one day. And I hope to see all of you again one day. Thank you so much.
Do you want to say it?
We do have to clear out by 8 officially.
Do you want to say it?
Hi, Internet. I was going to say, I'm Evelyn's sister.
Yes, sorry.
And no, it's okay. I didn't know. But I'm not, I can't go up there, I'm sorry. But I think maybe I could say something from here. Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry, we have to start out with something funny if you're Evelyn. Yeah. So I have to start out with something funny. Happy birthday, sis. You know, growing up with you sure had a big effect on me. But don't worry, my therapist says I'm improving every day. She really was my second mom. And I went from the youngest, not even knowing who I am or anything, to coming to Los Angeles and having like adventures like all the time. Like I would even tell my mom, you're not gonna believe what we're doing today. It was crazy. And I mean, there's just so much. And so I tried to write stuff down, but I could never get through it. And so, but yes, she was everything that everybody knows. And I know we're all gonna miss her, but she is in heaven. And that's the best part. They're both in heaven. Yes, Nan too. Oh, I do have to say a funny for Nan. When they would come and visit, and I know that it was getting late, you know. I lived in Clovis, California, which is San Joaquin Valley next to Fresno. I'm from Fresno, actually. We're all from Fresno. Evelyn's from. So Evelyn, as soon as she was 18, she moved to Los Angeles, and then I think it was right around the same age, actually. And anyway, Nan, when they would get ready to leave, packing up and everything, of course, Nan had to pull out a game. She had a travel game. And then
She passed that along
and
to
she
me.
had those little travel. She got that from you?
No, she passed it along to me. I
Oh.
brought up miniature Uno cards on this trip.
Yeah. But I just thought that was the cutest thing. And yeah, and then she always left something. You always go around and make sure Evelyn would go around the house, make sure that there was always something that she left. It was funny. But yeah, they were just wonderful people, and I just can't, I can't believe it. But if anybody believes in spirits or anything like that, like when Evelyn was in the hospital, she felt like she was in a cocoon, and she just knew that she just wanted to, go and everything. But anyway, I was out in my backyard with my girlfriend, and a butterfly flew by, a real beautiful butterfly, and I just knew she was gone. But I didn't want to go check my phone. And so I just hung out with my girlfriend in the outside of the church. And I came to my phone and but she was gone, and I knew that butterfly was gone. We used to, oh, I wanted to go with her. That was the thing. I loved her so much that I just wanted to go with her. I said, when you're going to go, I'm going to go. And she said, well, probably can't go together. It's probably not going to happen. But she said, when it is that time to be looking for the rope, and she would go into big shoes, and I go up there, I don't know why, but she gave me a thing that I had on my refrigerator that said, hey, you're just holding onto this rope, right? And anyway, that was kind of like her joke. Yeah. So I just love her so much. And this is nothing to say for her again. But we do have to go on. And I know where she is at. So anyway, thank you guys all for coming. I did bring some albums with pictures, talking about pictures. Talking about when they first met. I met Nan first. I don't know if you guys know that. I was living in an apartment in Burbank, and Nan was living in the adjacent apartment. And we had a pool, and they didn't. So Nan and her, she was living with, you know who it is, Sherry? Jackie, thank you.
14?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because we were out drinking our beers by the pool, and I'm like, hey, want a beer? Jackie, no, that's okay. And then isn't it funny that, gosh, 5 years later, was it about 5 years later? Here's Sherry. Here's Evelyn and Nan. And I'm like,
I know you.
It's just, I have 1,000 stories, a million stories, wonderful stories. And those pictures tell some of those stories. And it's never going to be the same. And she was the best sister. And even my friends wanted her to be her sister. And I said, no,
Eat something, take something.
Look at some of the albums in that.
And the video.
I'd like to invite you to watch the video.
Yes.
Yeah, I tried to tell the story with that.
She was the best.
They come to my house, and there's lots of butterflies. Her and Nan, sitting in the backyard, eating her lunch. That's what they told me. That's what they told me. They're coming back with butterflies, and they were smashing all the butterflies. And it was interesting because in the campus court, girls were down. And she's like making us all happy and telling jokes. And it's like always the story. We know you guys. We enjoyed it so much. All my friends. One day she was happy. And we just well, I can keep that for something. Don't bother. You know, so the food, right?
Yeah. And I'm so glad you were able to come.
Yeah.
I know that there was so many people that didn't have this.
Like, you know, a lot of them are going back to school again, or ill, or but I'm good.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
yeah, that's all you can do. I gave yeah, it was like it was a support group of women who had families.
Okay, but it's not that everyone was at the city of Boston.
No, this was not city hall. People that belong to this family. They would have every Monday morning.
That's right.
And then after some people were visiting, you know, like they felt like we had to text. So we all still stay on. We would get together and do things.
Oh, no, that's different. All good.
We just friends, and I always wanted to get together with the dogs. I thought totally
Ben, are you in the car?
It's not going to happen. She did come over and meet me. Without
Do I just grab one? Yeah. Honey? You want to take one home to your family? Oh, I forgot to
No. Man, why don't you go and bring it down?
My infrequent calls. And what?
You're so nice. Yeah, I
had you at the Derby. That's where I saw.
I couldn't get out.
Yeah, I always it would have been too long. It's like there are people who when you think of as a couple, it's like it was always it's like between the two of them, just such a
Somebody's glasses? Somebody's glasses? Mine? Oh, no, those are mine. Okay, sweetie. I know where to put it.
She had a sixth sense. Back in here. Yeah. Couldn't record things.
Amy, am I put it over here by your bag?
Every single time. And I gotta say, it was raining and all of a sudden rain. And without fail, it wasn't the same show. It was a different show. But we're ready to find out what happened to and then she was on the phone, so we couldn't see her. That was so frustrating. I never told her that. I was like, man, do you know you have to 6 cents? That was, it was nagging, but it was endearing. Yes, and then when they got together, it was like, what? What? Oh! And then I got to know her, I was like, wait, it's a really good. Yeah. And backyard. Everywhere. And it just seemed like the part that I missed, where else is it? At least you thought about it. Sorry. Bye. Yes.
Just like you. Just like you. What? What do I love?
No, but I remember when you were little, remember that Volkswagen? Yes. I went to the beach. I went, Where? I had my niece sleeping on the sand, and all of a sudden I'm feeling these waves come up on my feet. Oh my God.
I know, I understand. Thank you guys.
No, sweet, I'm just trying to put it with my house. Thank you,
Nice to meet you both. I'm so
Yeah.
That's when my time with
We met.
I have 20 years in part, but it's all work. I'm glad it worked. That camera has been going all this time. It's not broadcast, it's recorded. So that,
Sorry. I need to fix my truck.
Yeah, I won the nickel pot, time round, then we scored. Nice to meet you. So the whole thing was real. They would just list out all the different color papers, and they would just cut it up, put it in envelopes, and they would take down something. I said, I don't know anything about it. And they're like, you don't need to know anything about it.
Over there, is that my place? Bye, honey. I probably never see you again.
Thank you. I never see your mom. I'm really glad I heard you speak, though. That was really
Thank you.
We'll probably never see each other.
But her mom was so funny. I didn't put her I know. You mind?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm here.
I wanted to tell it all.
Someone who
Yeah, that was
You don't know. You don't get it. That's yeah.
Okay, everyone, we have 8 minutes to officially close.
How many?
Party.
8 minutes? Okay, let us wrap it. That was like
She goes, he's gonna shoot us.
Well, I don't know.
okay.
Bye, you guys. Nice to see you. Go ahead. Which one do you want? That's your plan. They should. No, it's okay. No, you should live in yours. That's what I want. I've been here. I know. No, as far as that one, yeah. Well, there you go. Right again. There you go. Make it go. Oh, yeah, that's good.
And what are you doing in your spare time?
How about you want any food?
Yeah,
You bought it?
whatever you please. Yeah. 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 Right? Right? Yeah. Yeah. It's right. Yeah. Yeah. I've just been retired now 2.5 years.
Oh, you did? Oh, yeah? Yeah. Oh, because that was my sister's party. Because they came to. Yeah. It was their niece's. Yeah. I was her 16th birthday party.
Gotcha. Okay.
Sherry, you got some food? Yeah.
it's weird.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because they don't want the animals, not all. It wasn't born. Car accident. When they got her? Sorry. No, don't remember that part. I remember when they got her, but I don't remember okay, bye. Again. Oh.
Yeah, his bag's right here. Yeah.
I hope I get to see you guys again someday.
We gotta come party with you.
Jerry, are you leaving without hugging me goodbye? What? Are you leaving me without hugging me goodbye?
Yes, up here.
I will not allow it. I will not allow it.
We have that Sharpie.
Wait,
Yeah, where's me? Right there, like, stay. Let me take a picture against the mural.
I always think of the pizza place out on the pizza.
That's my love. My sister will take him in the.
Yeah, I know. Oh, you know, we just always go to the pizza place.
Yeah,
How's your daughter?
Oh, and she has 3 great grandchildren.
Oh my goodness.
No, she does.
Yeah, no.
No. Another one in the box. One in the oven. You saw that?
You know what she's doing now? She
Such a play on like old, because I can
Oh, you'll post it up there.
She's a maniac. She's a maniac.
Okay.
Okay.
Would you take any leftover refreshment snacks? Yeah, if you got some kids that want to maybe make a. You can take as much as you want. Please help yourself. My sister very.
Hey, you three. Calista. Where are we eating dinner? Oh, it's up. Are you guys? Oh, okay. All right. Give me just a few minutes. Okay. I'm like, are you?
Amy, do you have a plate or something you can give to Katie?
Oh, no, that's okay.
You have plates?
You can have an entire drink. Sure. Kids.
What is that over a cup?
Out of state flying tomorrow.
Or you might just have to take the whole thing.
That's what we were just saying. Like,
Share with staff. Take the sweet for the least.
it was about a week and a half.
Yeah.
All done. Bye.